everybody. Welcome to Fire Talk, where we give you the latest news and updates on Southeastern University athletics. I'm Dr. Ken Ingle, president of Southeastern University, and joining me, as always, our amazing athletics director, Drew Watson. How have you been?
Been well. It's good to have you back.
Oh, it's great to be back. Definitely miss Fire Talk, so good to be back and talk about some of the great things that are happening right now.
Well, NFL opening weekend.
Oh,
last weekend.
Yeah.
So did you watch?
Sure, I watched games. Yeah, definitely. Of course, the big surprise was what happened in the New York Jets Buffalo game. Only 4 plays in. 4 plays in.
4 plays in. And I'm not
gone for the rest of the year.
I'm not sure if you saw the clip where you can see his Achilles. Like you can.
I did not see that, and I don't want to see it.
He plants his foot, and you can see the ripple go up his calf in slow motion. And I've done that. I ruptured both Achilles, so it's a little PTSD when that happened. But
no,
what a game!
Oh, it was a great, and then for the Jets to come back and win that game. I know there was a questionable call there, but
a little bit.
One thing that was fascinating about that was the football players coming out on artificial turf versus regular.
And I don't know these days if that's I guess they play on it.
Right.
But I don't know with the product like it is these days. It's not like in the 70s when it was just kind of a piece of carpet that they laid on concrete. But I don't know if you heard this either. There was a bar in Green Bay who offered if the Jets won the game that their tab would be on the establishment.
Wow.
Well, as soon as Rodgers went down, everybody's running up their tab because there's no way. And then the Jets win, so they're out of some money there. So
that backfired on them real quick.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into what we want to talk about, Fire Athletics. Our women's volleyball team, man, has been getting it done in non-conference play, holding a 7-2 record. They head into their first conference game tonight at Coastal Georgia. We have our head volleyball coach with us today, Audrey Goldsberry. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, first time on Fire Talk,
right? It is.
All right, well, it's great to have you here.
Well, we like to start off with a question for all of our guests that focus a little bit on you, the guest, and not the team. And so you're an SU alum.
I am.
And one of I think 2 coaches. Coach Dickens is the other, I believe. So can you tell us a little bit about your journey from student athlete to coach? And I guess it's your last year too.
Yep. Yeah, I know. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and kind of what did get me here, what brought me back, and I actually was not planning on coming here, and my parents found the school in January of my senior year and just said, hey, we think this is the place for you. And I actually came here to play basketball. The volleyball coach called me a couple weeks before preseason and stuck with it ever since, and didn't finish basketball.
I'm going to interrupt you there just to ask, did they say, we think this is a place you should go, or did they say, you are going to Southeastern?
You are going to Southeastern.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it was, but ultimately the best decision. You never know what God's plan is, and made my best friends here. Ended up meeting my husband 4 years after I graduated. He was a student here, and met the coach before me who brought me in just to help out, and landed this job. And 10 years later, I'm still here, and I've loved every minute of it. It's been a game changer for my life.
Well, you've done a great job investing in the athletes that God's brought under your care, and I've really enjoyed working with you. Excited to see what this season has for you guys.
Yeah.
Now, you started off the season with 2 long road trips to Tennessee and Alabama, I believe. How important it is early season time together to develop the team? And
yeah, it really is important, and there's actually a lot of back planning that goes into it. I don't think people think about, but even just the hotel rooming.
Sure.
Who do you put together? Where do you see maybe some holes that you need to fill? Where some personalities need to have a little bit more understanding for each other, and just being on the road and seeing different things and seeing girls come together. It's probably my favorite part of the season are those first couple long weekends.
Okay, so let's get to the X's and O's. We'll start with personnel. You added 3 key transfers in Olivia Williams, Cambry Pope, and Tatiana Lyons. Talk to us a little bit about these players and what they've brought to the program.
Yeah, we've always been blessed with really awesome girls here, and I traditionally go straight out of high school for my recruiting, but this year we definitely looked at more transfers, and these girls just bring a different level of thinking, a really high volleyball IQ, a really good mindset in regards to competing in practice and working hard, and I think that they've helped raise the level of the game that the returners already had set in place for us.
It's good.
And my goodness, you're off to an incredible start, 7-2, and you actually beat number 12 Taylor,
Which is my dad's alma mater.
Wow.
Yeah. So that
All right.
that wasn't. My dad's like, I don't know who to cheer for. I was like, Southeastern.
That's great. Well, what do you think has been the key motivator to get such a good start?
I think this year, and the girls know it's my last, and that's a little bit of it. But I think this year they just really wanted to set a tone for the future. And we talk every year about legacy and what legacy are you as an individual, but you as a team leaving. And I think they wanted to really let people know who they are and what they can do, and not just be great on the court, but they're also really great off the court as well.
Well, and I am mostly blessed to have my office over the gym. And I will say that this team is you can tell you're in the gym practicing. There's a lot of communication, a lot of encouragement going on. I really love seeing that. We talked about the transfers. Let's talk about the returners, the key returners. Grace Petty, Amelia Harding, and Alexandra Postlethwaite.
Yeah, Postlethwaite.
Thank you.
Close.
I ran into her in the hallway
One,
last week, and I said, "Hey, I think I mispronounced your name," and sure enough, I did. But
She's
I
used
almost
to
got
it.
it. They all made impressions last season, are doing well so far this year.
Sure.
How important is it to have, along with the transfers, leadership coming into the season?
Yeah, we've really been blessed by those three. They've grown just coming straight out of high school here, and just setting the tone in regards to the expectation of what we want in our results. And Grace, I think, has had a double-double almost every single game this year. Mia really almost embarrassed a team last week. I felt so bad for the girls that were trying to hit up against her. And Allie, we actually just found out that she has the chance to hit 2,000 assists this year.
Wow.
She hit 1,000 her freshman year, and now is in part-time. And I mean, those three girls they set the tone for us, and they're great leaders. And I'm excited to see what they do for us this year.
It's great when you bring in new folks and they gel well with because you never know.
Yes.
You do your best, but you really never know.
Absolutely.
We talk a lot about culture here at SCU. So as a coach, what do you do to make sure you have a healthy culture?
Yeah, I think one thing is communication, and that's talking and listening. And so I try to always let the girls know I'm always here to listen. I know I'm not perfect either. I want feedback, and I want them to be the same way. So we really try to have open communication, and we really are all about being able to call things out and do it in a way that is heard well and respected. And, there's trial and error with that, and a whole bunch of female voices can get a little difficult at times. But for the most part, these girls are pretty intentional about self-accountability first, and then holding teammates accountable second.
So we've got our conference opener tonight at Coastal Georgia. I'm particularly excited about it because I'm going with you.
Yes.
Looking forward to hanging out with the team. Talk about the Sun Conference this year. Who are our biggest challenges, and what's the team's mindset going into the season?
Yeah, over the last 10 years, the conference gets harder every year. So it's hard to go into any game thinking, oh, this is just going to be a win. Every team in our conference has stepped up. So, this year, St. Thomas, man, they have set the tone for what it looks like to compete at a really high level. Kaiser has already won 17 games this season. They've played 21, and so they just have a lot of experience under their belt. But Florida Memorial started out with 2 big wins, and Ave and Weber, they've had some surprising and shocking wins, and I've got to see them play in person, and so that's been really cool too. And so I don't think there's any team that's not going to be a tough game, which you want that. You want a competitive conference.
Well, I know we've struggled traditionally as a conference to get that national respect.
Yes.
And hopefully that starts to happen this year.
Hopefully. That's the goal.
Yep.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us today, and wish you the best on this season. I know it's going to be an amazing season, and look forward to participating in a lot of the games and seeing what happens.
Awesome.
So,
thank you so much.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for
thank
having
you.
me.
Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Between work and to-do lists, Publix knows your time is valuable. Let them help you regain time in your day by delivering groceries to your door. Learn more at publix.com/shop.
I kind of have an inside information here. We talked about this last week with Donnie, but Instacart is going to start delivering prescriptions soon.
Oh, wow.
And so if you're at home and you can't get out to the pharmacy, they're going to start bringing that by. So
that's a great service.
Yeah.
Well, Drew, a big week wrapped up with Fire football taking down number 10 Reinhardt.
Yes.
In fact, overcoming a 17-point deficit and 2 lightning delays. So What's your thoughts on that game?
Well, I mean, anytime you fall down 7-0 on the first play of the game, which we did, there was a double move the wide receiver put on our cornerback, and they went 65 yards on a bomb on the first play. You're kind of like, oh, goodness, what are we in for here? But to see that happen and then to hear guys come off the field going, hey, it's one play. We're still in this. Let's go. And then to be down 20-3, and we didn't play a good first half. We really gave them some gifts. And so it wasn't them really putting it on us. It was us kind of going, hey, and we're still learning each other early in the season here. But to be down 20-3 and to see the starch this team has and fighting back, it's really been impressive.
Yeah, I mean, they first game here, home opener.
Down 16-0.
Down 16-0 and fought back.
Yeah, so they've got the defense is good. The offense is, as I said, they're good. They're just getting to know each other. I think we've got some strong players on that side of the ball. But really, this game came down to 2 plays early in the second half, and we've got them here. It's Jacoby Clinton, stepped up in a big way, and this is the first one. I think the quarterback here, thinks Jacoby's wearing yellow, throws it right to him there, and that's a pick 6. So that got us from 20-3 to 20-10. Wow. Right off the bat. That was their first possession. And then this play happened where there was, unfortunately for Reinhardt, there was a snap. They're getting ready here on this play, and the snapper thought the quarterback's 8 feet tall, and Jacoby's there. Jacoby's Johnny on the spot there and recovered the fumble at the 3-yard line. So, for his efforts, Clinton was named NAI National Player of the Week.
Wow.
Which is really, really proud of him and really excited about what's ahead for this team.
Yeah. Speaking of that, what's next for the team?
Well, we have a bye this week, which is always good early in the season because you get banged up a little bit. It's nice to have a bye a few weeks in. And then we head to Faulkner with the site of our first game ever.
Very first game.
And so we'll see what that has in store for us. But I think whenever you can head into the bye week on a win, particularly a win like that, where it's just a come from behind celebratory, I mean, that's a great way to go into the bye, because practice is more spirited. They're going to come back after this weekend, be ready to prepare for Faulkner, and then we start conference play. Yeah. And so really exciting seeing what's in store for this team.
Well, let's move to soccer, men's soccer. We matched up against number 12 Georgia Gwinnett last Thursday. Where we battled to a 1-1 tie. That's always difficult. You want to come out the winner, but got a tie with them. Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, men's soccer is not lost yet, and they've got their conference opener tonight. They're hosting Ave. We're hosting Ave Maria out at the soccer complex. Would encourage everybody to come. But in that match, I mean, the number 12 Gwinnett, we've never beat Georgia Gwinnett. And so to have them on our home field, they had a 1-0 lead. They got a red card on a guy. So in soccer, when you get a red card, you got to play a man down. Right. So it took us about 23 minutes, but we scored. And then we had some issues that happened in the field, and so the game had to end in a 1-1 tie. So, this team's playing well, and as far as this time in the season, we have not stayed undefeated this long in the season, to our conference opener in quite some time. So, really excited about Clay and what the team's doing, and I think, getting back to that 1-1 tie, does that ever bother you about soccer where
right,
like you can sit there for 90 minutes,
I know,
and then another 10-10 and the extra time, and you're like, oh my goodness, because when I was growing up, what did they used to say? Ties like kissing your sister.
Yes, exactly.
So I want soccer to come up with a way to
you gotta
stop this,
fix that.
But that's the way they play.
That's so good, and they play Ave Maria tonight, 7 p.m. home opener for conference, right?
Yeah, conference home opener. Yeah, 7 o'clock. Exciting. So we want people to get out there and support the team.
That's great. Let's talk about cross country. The men's and women's cross country teams didn't race this past weekend, but this gave them some time to kind of fine tune and really recover before heading to West Palm Beach on Friday, where they're going to compete in the Kaiser Invitational.
Yeah, like we said with football, time off early in the seasons is good. Especially when you've been running, and really beating up your body a little bit trying to get ready for that first race. So, it's exciting to go down to Kaiser and see what this team has. And, John Prez Dunn is running well on the men's side.
Right.
The women, as we've talked about, they've been headlined by Julia Rome for 5 years now. Yeah. And so it's exciting to see who's going to step up in her place and get it done. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, in terms of moving to women's soccer, team got off to a tough start last week. They dropped both games against top 10 opponents. How do you think the canceled game early on affected this week for the Fire?
Yeah, so the hurricane that
Right.
came by to the west, Bruton Parker didn't come down to that game, so we lost our home opener.
Yep.
And when you go up against the number 3 and number 9 teams in the nation, who between them have played probably 11 games, and we haven't played a game.
Yeah.
I think that really, because playing minutes, in any sport, but especially in soccer, develops that chemistry
Right.
between the 11 players, and you get to know each other, what your teammate's going to do or not do, and to not have that heading into, not just playing a soccer match, but playing against the number 3 team in the country, who some say is the best team in the country. It's tough. So you just hope at this point that the team will rally. Like, hey, that is what it is. Let's not let that get on how we compete in the future. So the men's and women's soccer teams in conference now this year, they play a mirrored schedule. So the men host, we said Ave Maria tonight. The women go to Ave Maria tonight, and we're playing home and homes there. But you hope every year it seems we have this Ave Maria game before Kaiser, and everybody's thinking Kaiser's coming to town.
Yeah, right.
And so you just hope this tonight they focus on Ave Maria. Let's think about Kaiser tomorrow. But that's another big home game coming up here. On Saturday is Kaiser's coming to town.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. We had a historic event last Saturday, as you discussed last week on the show. Bass Fishing competed in their first tournament last week, and how'd it go?
It went okay. I would say our top boat, Connor Koch and Kane Weekly, finished 34th.
Okay.
I think Coach was a little bit frustrated by the elements. There are 2 days of practice out there. The waters were calm. You're fishing. Then on tournament day, the winds kick up 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts. And you've got waves.
Yeah, so it changes it.
So it changes it. And then we unfortunately had a boat run into some mechanical issues, so we didn't have 4 teams fishing. We had 3. Oh. And so, just one of those things as you start, you make your way out there. Some bad luck, but they return in a couple weeks. They go to Paris, Tennessee on September 23rd. So we're looking forward to them, having 4 boats compete and just hopefully the weather cooperates and all that. So
well, it's just great to have them competing, and look forward to what the season brings.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap for today. Thank you for joining us as we close the show. I want to remind you to come out to the men's soccer match tonight against Ave Maria at 7 p.m. Also, a friendly reminder to come out support women's soccer this Saturday at 1 p.m. versus Kaiser at home. They are ranked number 5.
Yes.
Make sure you visit fire.com for the latest news in fire athletics. You can find the event calendar there, as well as a link to watch all of our home games. Good luck to all the teams this week.
Go Fire.